know.
Oh man.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. What is Hose doing? I miss you.
I miss you too. I literally haven't seen you in almost a year.
Literally, I was about to say that. So y'all, the Air Force had my best friend hostage.
Okay. I just did a 7-month bid. Okay.
Whole live hostage. We thought she was coming home. So I went home. Then they held her hostage again. And then she came home and I was back down here in Quackyville in Florida. So I haven't seen my best friend. It's rough out here.
But your mama held it down though, because we tight like that. So
I know we'll get into that because I got a mama question. So we'll talk about that. But she was like, it was so good seeing Kourtney. I love my daughter so much.
I love but even though I real name for all these years, but we're not gonna do that right now.
Okay, y'all. So welcome to the live. This is season 2 of the Authentic Black Mama. I just want to go ahead and thank T.R.U.E and Shell Keisha for putting this together and inviting me and inviting my best friend to do this season. Last year, me and Shell chopped it up probably for about an hour or less. And I think my favorite part of the entire series was just kind of getting different moms' perspectives, kind of seeing what they're going through as moms, things that they learn, getting different gems. And so of course, when Shell was like, you want to do it again? And I was like, duh. And who else would I invite other than my forever sister? Y'all, I know a lot of USC people, they probably think me and Kourtney met in college, but our lives are so intertwined.
Yes, we met on the bus.
Fact, we met on the bus, but it's crazy because our families have known each other for years upon years. So it's so intertwined. So I was like, of course, I'm just gonna interview Kourtney. It's gonna be easy. So how would you how should I say this? Authentic Black Mama, right?
Authentic Black Mama is taking this sip of wine because you got me nervous.
No, but as an authentic Black mama, how would you describe yourself? Even I'm going to ask you to describe yourself outside of motherhood, because that's a hard one. It's so easy for us to be I'm a mom, these are my mom hobbies. How would you describe yourself outside of being a mom before we even dive into your actual motherhood journey?
How would I describe myself outside of being a parent? I think I'm a very Black or white person. Facial is, I think you either you like my energy or you don't. I don't think I leave much room for a gray area. I think I am a very unbiased friend. If you're asking me something or you want to know, I wouldn't even say just an honest opinion, but I try to be fair when I have honest conversations. And there's even been instances when I've approached you, when I've approached other people about certain things, just to make sure that I'm being cognizant of other people's feelings and stuff. So I'm a very person, very direct, and I would say I used to be a little spicy back in the day, but I think I'm very toned down now.
Nah, the heavy on the tone down. Very spicy. I get that all the time as well. But, age will humble you. Okay. You can't be spiced. And life changes. It makes you want to calm down a little bit. So my first question is completely off the script, but my first question is, how have you adapted to being back home after being gone for so long away from Corey?
Honestly, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm still, right now, I'm tired. I'm used to being 8 hours ahead of you guys. Just going from that work mode, working 6 out of 7 days, being in a completely different country, very black and white what my schedule is, what I have to do. And then coming back into mom mode, I won't say it's been hard, but it's definitely been a transition because I have not had a chance to just like breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I've literally been on go since I've been back. And
Not really.
yeah, and I do have a lot of mom guilt because I don't feel like I can complain. Not that I have anything to complain about per se, but it's just like sometimes I do feel very overwhelmed.
Oh
But
yeah.
you know, I'm adjusting and I'm glad to be here. Corey, I can definitely tell. I'm not gonna say like abandonment issues or anything because I don't want to like label it that heavy. But like anytime that I'm leaving, anytime that I'm not at her site, like yo, she is on me like white on rice.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's serious. So I'm still adjusting. I haven't adjusted. I've only been home. It'll be 2 weeks this weekend, I think. So I'm still
Mm-hmm.
adjusting. Still tired. I'm still like waking up. I'm still sleep deprived. But you know, we don't get a break. You don't
Oh
get a break.
no, like never. So that's why I was like, I really want to know that because me knowing you and then me knowing Corey's like already being heavily attached to you anyway, I'm like, what does that even look like? Like she's already in your skin.
Yeah. Corey all inside my skin to live there, she definitely would. But I
Yes.
like
Tell me, girl, you know I know that skin life. I had to be like, you are not a part of the live. Go get in your bed. I don't want you on the live with me and Kourtney. Like, you
I'm gonna do
ain't a
my
part of
okay.
girl. Ooh. So, first real question. Tell us a little bit about your mommy journey. Like, when did you become a mom? Like, I know, but everyone else doesn't know.
Well, I'm what 29. My daughter is 4. So I became a mother. I was 24. I actually turned 25 in the hospital. Me and my daughter are only 2 days apart. So yeah, being a 25-year-old with a daughter, I thought I was okay because you know a little older. I'm not a teenager or anything, but like knowing what I know now. Hold on, I'm on an interview.
Or give us some space.
I told you, like I have not had any downtime. Like I told that I was doing this, and my mom is down there.
I can't wait for Janice to watch this back. I can't wait.
That was my father. So I'm at my parents' house. So whenever I came back from deployment, for those who didn't know, I've been deployed 7 months. I just got back literally the last day of like July. So I'm still
Mhm.
adjusting. So, but back to the question about my motherhood journey. So I was in a relationship when I was pregnant and like the first 2 years of Corey's life. But honestly, I was always like a single mom in my relationship because her dad traveled a lot for work. And that also kind of ultimately led to the split because like I have a partner, but I'm literally living like a single mom. So it wasn't very much for me to transition to me being a mother in a relationship to me being a mother outside a relationship because literally like nothing changed.
Mhm.
But luckily, I had a great community, like my parents, my siblings, like they're very hands on. My grandparents, you know, I've always had a very strong sense of family and community, so it never really impacted me personally in a negative way where I felt like I was lacking or I felt like I needed help because even during that relationship, my emergency point of contact for daycare school were my parents. Anything
Mhm.
done, I would go through my parents. So when I went through that transition, there was nothing for me to transition to. Like, so
You
it really,
know, I totally, totally get that. So, like, on so many levels, I think that's why we're here a
yeah,
lot, like,
I feel like I
on
sound,
many things, but definitely parenting. I'm like, girl, you know, I know, like, you can talk to me about anything. Like, never gonna judge you, especially not when it comes to single mom topics. It's like So I would want to know, what does it mean to you to be an authentic Black mama? Heavy on Black.
Listen, no, I guess change the narrative. I guess especially like in the Black community, you always hear that like Black mothers are very hard on their daughters, or that relationship can be very strained between Black mothers and their daughters. And just knowing, the type of parents I have and what I've experienced and the type of parent that I want to be, taking all the good qualities that my parents gave me, especially my mom, and some of the things that I may not have agreed on or may not have wanted for my own parenting style. I feel like I incorporate that into my parenting style with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely more on like the gentle parenting side. Like, we're gonna count it out. We're gonna talk. Especially like when I can tell she's getting frustrated. I'm very on like, you know what, let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, like real zen. And you know what's crazy though? Like Corey had a temper tantrum, right? And another mom had saw me like how I was talking to Corey, like, Corey, let's breathe. And like, I saw her roll her eyes at me, but like, that works for me. Some people believe in spanking, patting, like that's not my parenting style. I don't knock anyone else. But as far as my parenting style, I'm very big on communication. Like I don't want my daughter to shut down. I want her to feel comfortable with me. Like we're friends. I'm not your best friend. Like I want you to feel
like I'm still your mama, but we're friends.
I'm still your mama, but we are friends. Like I want you to feel comfortable talking to me. So Corey is a very vocal child. I don't know if you follow me and you see some of her videos. Like I believe in letting kids express themselves. Like I don't limit her expressing herself. As long as it's safe, she's not harming anybody. And kids got to be kids. A lot of times when I feel frustrated with what she's doing, like, why am I mad? Like, what is she doing? She's a 4-year-old kid. Is she really doing anything abnormal, or is it just me not having the patience? So
I'm definitely so glad you said that. Like, I'm so glad you said that, because a lot of times, like the whole like Black mama, it comes with like a stigma, right? It like it looks one way, like it looks like really stern. It looks like don't be playing with me. Like it looks like that. And I will say a lot of like moms I'll talk to, like of course, including you, like we do bring up just trying to like shift the narrative and shift the parenting style, like just a little bit, because I think a lot of times people will be like, oh, well, I came out just fine. Or, like my mom did this. Exactly. My mom did this and like it was cool. But you don't really think about like how those behaviors like affected you as being this like anxious person, this person that's like afraid to make a mistake, this person that has abandonment issues, this person that is like a perfectionist and will do anything to have that bond. And people will be like, it's not that deep, but it absolutely is. Like it's so deep. So that's one thing like that I know that I do as well with Amaya. I'm like, okay, so like you so mad at her right now, but like, why are you mad? Like, are you mad because what she did is like, it really warrants that? Or like, you mad because somebody would be mad at you because you did that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I definitely think our generation has the tools that maybe our parents didn't have, to kind of like make the authentic Black mama like look a little different. But
yeah, so like to like follow what you're saying, a lot of times they grew up even stricter than what we thought we grew up. So yeah, we felt we're like super strict, but they're feeling like, they're more lenient than what they had. So, whenever we express those type of feelings to them, they may feel offended because they're like, well, back in my day, I had to do this and that, because they're being more lenient than what they had. So,
you're like, well, that's not right.
Yeah, but it took me being a parent to learn to give my parents grace. You know what I'm saying? Like I never like viewing from their lens and thinking things were unfair, or they're like super strict, or not understanding why they moved the way they did. And now that I'm a parent, you know what? I had to give my parents grace, especially like back then. They got married hella young. Like I had my
Yeah.
first 25. My parents were married like 23, 24. My
Oh
mom
yeah.
had 3 kids by the time she was 31. And like, I know how heavily I rely on my family and parents now. I don't feel like a grown up. Yeah, I have a good job. Yeah, I have like, housing, and I have all these things and stuff. And I still feel like I still have to depend on my parents, like not to do stuff for me, but I just really value their opinion and what they tell me. So it's just like, me only having one kid, not being married. So like our parents grew up, they were growing up while they were parenting us at the same time. You know what I'm
And
saying?
fast.
Like I learned to give them a lot of grace and be like, you know what? They were figuring it out. Like
Yeah.
not great being parents and like going through the motions. Corey's so thirsty right now. She just walked up in here.
No, I heard the door. So like I assumed it was her. Like, Corey, I'm gonna give you your mama back in like 30 minutes. I promise. I promise. But like rolling into the next question, especially like given like society right now, like what are some fears that you have parenting your child right now?
Fears parenting my child at this moment. Just I don't want her to feel like she can't express herself fully, because I know that I try to cultivate that environment for her. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's why she's very vocal. Like she'll tell you how I feel. So I don't want to create an environment at home, and when she goes somewhere else, that she feels like she can't be her true self. Like I don't want my daughter, we got a code switch. Like I don't want her to feel like she
I
has to
want you
do.
to code switch. Yeah.
I don't code switch. I want you to be your authentic self and whatever that, embodies. And I'm hoping as she grows older and hopefully society progresses, like it won't take that, but you never know, because like I'm kind of crazy. So like I just never want to be in that situation where
Yeah.
I'm show up.
You know, it's so crazy. Like I had like a aha moment, like I would say it was like March. We were coming from a softball game, and one of the girls asked to ride with us. And I was like, damn, like, was I code switching like this early on? Because like we got in the car and like Amaya like wanted to play like pop music. And like she didn't want to listen to like, Amaya, like she didn't want to listen to Lil Baby and and everything. And I was like, what? Kind of weird. So I let her, hey, Corey. Now I feel like I need to have Amaya come. Amaya, do you want to come say hey to Corey?
Look, I was doing that to put her outside.
I know. Hurry up,
Say
fast.
hey to your cousin.
Hello. Hello. So cute. Okay, now y'all can both dip.
Okay.
Since y'all invaded our lives.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was like, I don't want you to ever feel like you can't listen to stuff like that you would normally listen to, like say things you would normally say just because you're around a different type of friend. And it's so crazy how like that thought lives in our subconscious like at a young age. And I'm like, I don't want you to like go through life feeling like that. Like I want you to always be a Maya, like regardless. So that's a real thing. And what's crazy? Like outside of society, like a lot of times family doesn't allow our children to be them authentic selves because they push their own beliefs, like their own parenting beliefs on our kids. And so that's when you have to be like, no, I don't really do that with my kid.
Or because they feel other people see what they allow, like it reflects on them. So definitely.
And I'm like, and I'll fall out with you about my kid, like big time.
I'll be so kid, big time.
I know we talked about how basically you feel drained, overwhelmed, like you haven't had a chance to reset. Like outside of what you're going through right now, what are some things you try to do to take care of yourself, like to make sure Kourtney is in a mindset good enough to even be Corey's mama?
When I came back, I made sure I got my mustache waxed.
I hate you.
Made sure I got rid of my unibrow. You know, make sure that I have wine available. Nah, but in all seriousness, I try to get moments to myself. It doesn't matter what little it is. I try to get that, like, even if it's a shower, like I'll take a long shower, get my nails done, like, you know, just the simple stuff. Like, I really do value that and appreciate that. Like, I'm not like the most girly girl, but I do like certain things. So like, even if it's just taking myself out to eat, sitting at the bar, eating my food, just doing stuff like that, making sure my hair is done. Like, sometimes it's easy to feel and look like a hot mess because that's how you feel. I'm a avid believer of when you feel good, when you look good, you feel good. So
Period.
sometimes, like, when you take pride in your appearance, like, that makes me feel good naturally. Maybe a little bit of it, but that is self-care for me. Okay, because it take a lot to care for me. I'm hairy, like, I'm
Shut up. Shut up. Because I know, like,
so I have friends like you that I talk to, and outside of parenting, you know, we talk about any and everything. Like, that the community is good to have a village, and I do have friends that I can call on. Shout out to Mindy. When I was deployed, oh man, like, Mindy would come get my daughter, make sure she was good, still do stuff. Like, that's my sis for real. Like, I love her.
yes, that is beautiful for real.
Drove, like, Moana, like, my friends, Leah, like, they really stepped up. Even you, like, whether it's moral support, like, they made sure I had ways to know that I was supported during my deployment. And it's easy to say, oh, if you need anything, you know, let me
But it's
know.
different.
They did it, like, hey, I'm hitting up your mom, like, I'm getting Corey and stuff. So between my family and my friends, they give me that space and opportunity to have a moment to recollect, and I'm very appreciative for that.
The
Even your
village is
mama checked on me the whole time. Okay, like,
y'all. Let me. I don't really think.
I don't know.
Okay, I am biased for sure, but when I tell y'all, my mom will go out of her way for any and everybody in her life, and especially my friends. Like, I would be on the phone talking to my mom, and she'd be like, yeah, Kourtney told me that she's blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, when did you talk to Kourtney? But she's like, I just had to make sure she's okay.
You know
and
that I'm going to dinner.
yes, and that means so much to me. Like, I was making my mom's birthday list for next month. She's a crazy Libra.
You know, I already know where she.
I know. And she was like, make sure you have Kourtney on the list and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know, I love that so much. And so many people cannot say that, like, they have that kind of like intertwined life. But I think that also speaks to just like how close me and Kourtney are, and like how we've maintained our friendship. Like, you know how, like, and it's no shade to nobody, because like everybody's like route to friendships and stuff are different. Mm-hmm. But like, we ain't ever fell out ever. I'm like, I don't have friends that like you fall out with. Like, if you fall out with one of my friends, it's absolutely positively you. And like, I will stand on that. Like, that's a hill I'm willing to die on. Period.
All right. You know me, like, I ain't never talking to you again. I walk by like I don't know you. I'm just playing. Oh,
I swear.
I'm just playing. No, I'm not. But no, me and Kitia have
playing. It's both our toxic traits. It's like, who's that? But anyway, speaking of mamas, because
shout out to my mama, she held me down, man. Shout out to Janet.
Oh, honey, I got a question on her, but I had to go into a fun one first because we both got some country mamas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your favorite Black mama saying, or your mama's favorite Black mama saying growing up?
Oh my gosh. You know what? This came from my granddaddy. So this came from my granddaddy. My pretty is what pretty does. So that's my favorite saying because my mom will always say it, but I know like it reminds her of my grandfather. And you know, my family's like country. Like my dad is from York, you know, your people. And I say like my mom's from Chester, but you know, my mom's from Lockhart. Nobody even knows what it is. Okay. Shout out to you know what is. So,
I do.
you know, she 8 siblings, like grew up on farm, you know, country, like country.
Yeah.
People would come to my granddad's house and like buy sausage. My grandma made molasses. Like we had a slot bucket. We used to take it to the pig, you know, to feed
Girl,
them.
you know, I know.
Like I grew up country. I don't think a lot of people who don't know me, they don't know that. Like, so I'm always very humble. And I think that's why I'm approachable. But yeah, like pretty is pretty does. So like not just looks, but you know, certain things that you do, you know, you can be beautiful and have like you be nasty on the inside, you know?
Mm-hmm. That is so, and that's such a country saying. I had a funny one today. Now, you know, my friend Bianca, not Bianca Jackson, but Bianca Young. And as country as she is from the country. And we was on the phone today talking about mosquitoes. She had a big old bite. And I was like, yeah, girl, when I came back from the country the other month, I had so many mosquitoes. I said, them things was working for the Red Cross. And she was like, I ain't never in my life heard that. I said, Stephanie been saying that my whole life. Like, and it's like, I take so many sayings from her now. I'm like, ew, I'm turning into you. Like,
or even like at the kids, you sound just like your mama. Like I hear myself, I'm like, dang, I sound like my mom right now.
I'm like, why is this like real life? And I'm telling you, it's a blessing. And speaking of the blessing, I personally know like the role Janice has played in your life and Corey's life. I even got my box of tissues because I read this question. I was like, ooh, this might get ooh. So start off with the phrase, Dear Mama. So if you could write a short letter to your mom, what would you say?
Ooh.
Y'all, before she go into it, like, I know everybody don't believe in the stars, but me and Kourtney are 2 big ass water signs. So it'd be like all the time, like, oh my God, like, oh my God. So when I read that question, I was like, oh God, like, I'm gonna cry on the live.
Choose that question.
Okay, I'm ready. Dear Mama, what would you say to Janice?
Dear J Nice. Dear Lolly, that's what Corey calls my mom. Thank you for being the most dependable person I have in my life. Thank you for showing me what unconditional love is. Thank you for showing up for me, advocating for me, and loving my child as if she's your own. I want to thank you for being such a wonderful grandmother, even though I know you didn't have one. And that's why you go the extra mile, because you were not able to experience growing up with a grandmother. So that's why you are the best grandma there is. Even though I can't call you a grandma. You're the best Lolly there is. Thank you for picking me up. Thank you for giving me tough love when I need it. Sometimes, like you said, I'm a water sign. I like to stay in my feelings, but thank you for getting me out. Thank you just for everything that you do for me. And I just hope that you know that you are appreciated. And I show you, I tell you, but like I just can't wait till there's even more I can do for you.
I love her. Look at Corey. She trying
Being
to
bad,
take me out the game.
y'all know I got a bob. So this is a wig. Like, so
Corey
I'm
trying to take her out the game,
she's
y'all.
trying to take me out the game, boy, because this big right now. And I got this hat on.
Oh my God.
Really trying to take me out the game.
Oh my God.
Breaking it up because she helped me not be too emotional.
Yes. Because I would have been like, just say it. Just go. But see, we can break it up because the next question is way lighter. It's just, what is your greatest joy being a Black mama?
My greatest joy being a Black mama is, I guess, just seeing my daughter happy. I know that she's a happy child. Like, it's obvious. Mm-hmm. She wants to be on me right now, not just because I'm on the phone, but like, I know that I'm her safe place. And that's all I ever want to be for my child. Like, I want her to feel comfortable with me, be her safe space. And that makes me feel really good. So I hope as we get older, our bond just gets stronger and that we can have healthy conversations that sometimes are often avoided because it was taboo growing up. Like, I want her to feel like she can talk to me about anything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know I get that. It's a whole different life now being a mom. Now you're like, okay, like I don't want to ever feel like you can't tell me anything. Like I don't want you to ever really be like afraid of me. You know how like we love to be like, you know, like my mama put fear in my heart. Like I don't want to be that. Like I know it sounds crazy.
I gotta be authentic Black mama right now. I gotta have a moment with Corey real quick. So Black mama. Hey Corey, look at me. Look at me. Don't you see I'm doing something? Yes or no? Yes. Do you think you're being nice right now? Yeah. You're not. You see I'm doing something. I asked you to go over there and you're not doing it. So will you listen to me and will you go over there? I will watch TV. You can watch TV. You can go over there though. And when I finish, I will set you up with what you need to do. Authentic Black mama.
Yes, come through. Come back. Okay.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Hand it here.
Corey, I swear I'm gonna give you your mama. I got like 2 questions.
Give it here. No lollipop. You want me to send that lollipop to your daddy's house tomorrow? Then put that down. Or you're not getting a lollipop. You're not getting no treat after school. I'm going to call them and tell them not to give it to you. So let's think about this. Have a seat. Put that down, and I don't want to hear it. Thank you.
Big Cancer energy. What has motherhood taught you about womanhood?
Patience.
Yes.
Motherhood, though, like how I was bragging about like community and friends, I had to also learn to be a better friend. And that's part of womanhood. Like seriously, like we often want people to show up for us, but learning to not take everything personal. People are going through life, okay? And sometimes they don't always feel comfortable talking to us about it. It's not it's not anything personal. But like womanhood, definitely just to being a better friend, showing up for my friends, being available for my friends, recognizing trends that aren't like my friends, being a safe space, and also advocating for all women, not just women who look like me or align with certain beliefs or ideals that other people think are acceptable. Like, I'm not huge. I'm not into respectability politics. Okay. So like, I don't believe in just advocating for people who I deem worthy. We are all worthy of love. We're all worthy of compassion. We're all worthy of gratitude, you know?
That is
So
so
just
true.
because I'm very in bit with alignment, just because you don't look like what other people think you should look like, or you don't walk the same walk that I walk, doesn't lessen who you are as a person. It doesn't lessen your value. Like, we can't say that we're Black women matter, but only women that look like you or fit a certain aesthetic, or or like fall into that whole patriarchy scheme. Okay, like, I don't care if you a stripper, I don't care if you're a drug addict,
Yeah.
everybody deserves grace and compassion. And my journey to parenthood made me a better woman, honestly. It made me more open-minded, it made me more patient, and it made me more cognizant to other people's feelings. So
I think, as your friend, I can also say that motherhood allowed you to allow people to help you, because you've always been very, very independent, like, I can do it myself, type of person. Obviously, like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I do think motherhood allows you to be like, okay, actually, like, I can't do all this shit by myself. Like, I may need this person for my village, this person for my village, this person for my village. And like, I'm not weak for that. But I absolutely agree with you. That I think that's just gonna wrap into the last question, because the last question was advice for mamas who need encouragement and support. Because one thing that you said is key. Like, we can't just advocate for women that look like us or think like us, because honestly, we all go through seasons. And just because a person isn't walking with you or walking like you in that season of your life, like, spirits have a strange way of like humbling you and like bringing you back to that. So that's why I like I can never say never, right? But like, I really try not to be like that mom or that woman that's like, why are you parenting like that? Or like, why are you doing this? Or like, oh my gosh, she's a mom. Like, she's a wife. Like, why is she like living like that? Like, because you have absolutely no idea what that person's walk has looked like. And really, like, who am I to cast that type of judgment on you? And like, I know I got my own shit going on. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's huge, especially like in the society we live in, like, where everything is like for show. Like, we post what we want to post, and like, we let people in on like what we want to show them. So it's like, you actually have no idea. So like, let people live their life. You could be in her shoes tomorrow. So like, just giving more grace for sure. Motherhood has taught me to like give people some grace.
okay.
It ain't ever the prettiest picture in the world. But I am so glad I got to interview my best friend.
I love
It's
you so
great.
much. You're such a
I
good person.
know. Listen, the link.
Let me tell y'all a story about Kita, because we're talking about grace and stuff. So when Kita was pregnant, we were in college, right?
Oh boy.
Me and Kita had talked about this. I didn't go to Kita's baby shower, y'all. But you know why I didn't go? Like, when she wanted to talk about some like not asking people for help, I was so broke, y'all. And then I was really going through something. Kita knew I was going through something. I was really going through it like my freshman year. And I was so broke. I didn't even have like $10 to like get her like a gift for her baby shower. And I didn't go because I was so embarrassed. I did not want to go to her baby shower because I didn't have any money, or I didn't have a gift. And I just did not I did not want to tell anybody. I didn't even want to ask anybody. I did not go to my best friend's baby shower. I mean, I was there, after the fact or stuff, but it was just like, that's how prideful I used to be. Like, I used to be very, very prideful. I'm still prideful, but not in that manner. But like going back to giving people grace, because we have such a great line of communication. Like I straight up told Kita, because I didn't want her to feel no type of way towards me, but I was like, Kita, because I had fell back because I was so embarrassed, but I had
and
to
I
just
was
tell.
like, it's me. Like, what are we even talking about? Like, we didn't all been broke. We didn't
Okay,
all.
that's what I'm saying. Like life has humbled me several times. Like I've been through it. Some of it self-inflicted. Some of the stuff is just like a draw of a cards. You know, I love to say I just charge it to the game. But I only share that to share this. Like I said, you can walk through people and through all different type of seasons. And luckily I have been able to walk through all my seasons with you and have a friend like you to help me and be there for me. And it just means everything to me, because I can literally tell you anything and everything. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm so low energy for this live, but like I really am tired, y'all. But like I'm so glad that you chose me. Like shout out to Shell. You know, Shell big sis too. Like I love Shell. Like that's a whole story how me and Shell met like that.
Facts, y'all. Like
I think everybody has a Shell story, but I'm really proud of Shell and what she's doing. Like Shell has like such a big heart. Like she's really for the people. She's for women. She's like a great advocate. Like I love it, and I love you, and I'm glad, you know, there was no one else I would love to interview me. I mean, like, okay, that's a lot, like Beyonce or like Rihanna, but like, you know,
can interview me any day, okay?
As far as anything, like I'm really glad you chose me. You know, it's nice to get chose. You know, I ain't been chosen about 7-8 months now. You know,
O's really tried to come on the live and end the live with me crying. That's crazy. I feel sabotaged.
No, see, Coco's here for comedic relief. But yeah, I do appreciate our friendship and our sisterhood. Like, y'all just don't know. Like, Kita is really for the people. Like, she's one of the best women I know. Like, one of the best mothers. I really leaned into her a lot with my own parents and journey. She's very like what you see, how animated she is, how engaging she is. She's like that in everything. Like Kita is like a boss. Like y'all have no idea. Now, like
I'm trying.
Y'all have
round up from nothing.
Like, let me hold $1. Like Kita,
20-year-old mom for real. Like
Kita's that girl for real. She's a great mom, great person, and like a great friend.
I love you.
I'm glad I met you that day on the bus. Stop, girl. You see where her hair come out this wig? I feel like my wig about to come off, girl.
Well, you know, everything you said about me, I can absolutely say about you. But you know, I can talk all night. And I know Corey wants you bad. So, y'all, we will go ahead and wrap it up. So glad, like I said, I got to interview my best friend. She is absolutely amazing. Like she's saying she's low energy, but she is really like the mellow to my crazy, because y'all know I'm like, and Kourtney will bring my ass down. Just like this.
Really crazy right now. But I understand why you crazy, but we can't do that right now.
Yeah, we can't do that right now. No. But shout out to Shell, shout out to T.R.U.E. That is like a tongue twister. I didn't realize it until just now, but so thankful for the opportunity. Please watch the Instagram page, because there's going to be lots of other ladies. I actually got some family coming up maybe like next week that will be on here. I'm just gonna like promote everybody. So thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you, Shell. We love you. Say bye, Coco.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.